You may use bullying behavior, but you're not a bully. You're a human being. I want you to know that I see you, the real you, beneath your anger and your walls. I understand that you may feel misunderstood or threatened, and it can be so tempting to protect yourself by lashing out or pushing others away. It's painful, isn't it, to feel that no one cares unless you force them to listen, to bend, or to stay? And yet, the very thing you want most, real closeness, genuine respect, heartfelt affection, becomes harder and harder to find because fear drives people away, even as you long to be seen, heard, held, and loved. I want you to know that I see your goodness. I see your potential to be kinder, gentler, and more open, even if you feel that others are not enough or that you're not enough. We all crave the same things: love, friendship, safety. But these treasures can't grow under the shade of fear. People may comply or stick around for a time because of your power, but they can't freely give their hearts if they feel threatened. The wonderful news is that every day, every single moment, is an invitation to choose differently. Another chance to build relationships based on trust and compassion instead of fear or force. I promise you, if you lay down your anger and speak your truth with warmth, you'll be met with more acceptance than you ever thought possible. People delight in seeing someone transform for the better. It brings out the best in them, too. I don't need you to be perfect. I don't need you to make everything right in an instant. I only wish for you to recognize that you are inherently worthy of kindness, both giving and receiving it. True strength is in self-mastery, not in being a master over others through fear. The path forward becomes clearer once you realize the love and respect you seek are already within you, waiting to shine outward with a strength you haven't imagined. The world truly wants to embrace you, not to run from you. That is my wish for you, a life where each day brings more belonging, more joy, more lightness of spirit, more love. You deserve these gifts, and when you stop pushing them away with anger, you'll find them flourishing in your heart and in others you love. I hold unwavering faith in your true potential, in your goodness, and in true love. There's a lot of resources out there for those being bullied, but almost nothing for those doing it. So I want to extend an olive branch, so to speak, to those who have been told that they bully, who think they may be bullying, and want a better experience in life than the chaotic, messed up experience of feeling misunderstood in failing relationships. You may be holding it together on the outside so it looks good on the outside, but inside, you're paddling like hell and you're drowning. So I want to share the possibility of peace and final reconciliation. I hope this episode stands in symbolically as a gesture of goodwill, an invitation, and an open door to end conflict and restore harmony in your life. Because you weren't born this way. And it's possible for you, if there is willingness, to change now. I have personally been in abusive relationship cycles and professionally worked with people on both sides of abusive relationships. There's a lot of confusion on both sides of the equation in a dysfunctional relationship, whether that is a personal one or a professional one. So I'm going to get more detailed, open, honest, and raw. You are loved, but your behavior is not. This love is a caring wish for your well-being, that you feel good and that you're happy. Your behavior shows us you're not happy. and it doesn't feel good to those who love you. It's not liked. It's also not tolerable. Nobody should have to live with it, including you. Ultimately, bullying doesn't end well. You may think it's good for you in the moment, but ultimately and in the end, it's not. We know you want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. But your strategy of forcing others to do what you think you need or want so that you can be happy only seems to work. People may comply, but because they fear you, not because they love you. The appearance that your strategy is working is doomed and will eventually blow up in your face, to your surprise. Bullying may not be obvious to you because you may think that your emotions and your actions based on them are normal and justified. So how can you know if you're bullying? If there's a lot of upset in your relationships, and if you have people saying they don't like your anger, or that they fear you, or that they feel like they're walking on eggshells, or just saying that you're bullying, listen to their evidence. Listen, not to defend yourself or to attack them, but to check and see if what they're saying is true. Are they giving you real life, real world examples of where you shout and swear, are loud and obstructive, slam doors, throw or hit things, or God forbid people, lie and make false accusations, blame others, deliberately create tension and hostility, use physical intimidation, turning on people unexpectedly, calling them names, demeaning them, saying something is wrong with them? If you think that the other party also does some of these things, don't defend your actions due to that. There is no defense or justification for anyone's bad behavior. And using their behavior to excuse yours is bullying. If you want to be a powerful, peaceful person who is loved, you must be concerned only with your emotions and your actions rather than with other people's. And you must be brutally honest with yourself about yourself. So there are other ways people bully other people. You can also go online and take the tests that people use to know if they are being bullied, because often they're just as confused and they're not sure. Here, your heart and mind must be open to admitting the truth, at least to yourself, about your actions, in order for you to see them clearly, and from that to want to change. You may be completely convinced that you're doing everything right, yet also know on some level that you don't enjoy your own anger or the toxic and hostile environment. However, you may feel justified in it because of the thoughts in your head that blame others for your anger. We have all confused our emotions and our thoughts for other things, people, or events. What's called the bully confuses other people with his or her own emotions. Not liking the experience of these emotions, like a caged and abused dog, their defense becomes offensive as they take mean action. It takes some time for an abused dog to stop snapping and start snuggling, for them to trust the reality is good and that they're not going to get hurt anymore. The people around you are kind and they are living in fear and in hope you will become kind. What is the cause of kindness? There is no cause of kindness. There's no reason for kindness. Kindness is our default state. You don't need a reason to be kind. You have a reason to bully. So we should be asking, what is the cause of bullying? Compassion and empathy arise naturally when you see someone weaker or hurting and want to help. It's only natural. What's unnatural is hitting someone when they're down or for your own selfish gain. You don't realize that your separate self, who is being selfish, is not your true self. So ultimately, you're only hurting yourself. The degree to which someone has compassion or empathy reflects how awake they are. You have many wonderful qualities. People love you for those qualities. Often, that's why they put up with the behavior they really shouldn't. They tell themselves, but this person is really good deep down. There's so many good things about them. It's a package deal, though. If bullying is a deal breaker, and it is, the deal is broken. If it's not broken yet, it's only a matter of time. Eventually, we all break away from bullies. That's the destination if you keep using bully tactics, which you don't need. Bullies need power to get people to want to be around them, be that professional, financial, or emotional power, because otherwise, people just don't want to be around them. It's not nice. It's not fun. Not all people can be bullied. And so bullies, which are people who use bullying as a strategy in their relationships, they seek out people who can be bullied, the weaker ones that they are in some kind of position of power over, socially, economically, emotionally, or situationally somehow. These are people who live in fear of their so-called friend. It's not a friendship at all, in truth. It's a very sad situation. If you stop bullying, you will be actually, truly, and genuinely loved. Are you afraid to stop? Maybe you don't know how. Maybe you don't know what else to do. What holds you back? It's said that about 20% of the people who use anger and fear learned it from their role models growing up. The majority of people bullying are afraid. They feel small, or they're afraid of losing, and they use it to feel better or to get certain results they feel they need to have in order to feel good about themselves. And a minority are mentally ill or just plain criminal. How can you know which category you land in? If you don't like your bad behavior, if you genuinely feel remorseful afterwards and don't understand why you do it, you're probably not in the criminal category. You don't want to bully, but you need therapy to help you feel safe so that you can stop being angry and feel okay. Everyone deserves to feel safe, you included. If you feel entitled to be angry and entitled for whatever else you want from people, you're probably in the unwell or criminal category. The hope for you is to become humble enough to doubt and question your righteousness. Humbleness does not mean being humiliated. Being humble feels really good, and it is the highest strength there is. In every one of these categories, you need to learn new methods, different strategies that both work better for you and keep you loved, keep the peace, and generate respect for all you do for people. Healing begins the moment you realize kindness isn't weakness, it's wisdom. When you embrace kindness, you set yourself free. Other people have done it. Just listen to my cousin who's turned his entire life around.
I don't spend a lot of time anymore in regret or in the past, but I gotta be honest, if I could go back and change anything, I don't know that I would. Or what I would do is, if I ever had the opportunity, is I would apologize to all the people I hurt when I didn't know how to be a human being.
Straight up is what he said at the end of that. That's Chad Valier. He's amazing. He is a recovery advocate and a counselor and a genuinely compassionate, caring person. There's a movie called Chad Valier, Up from the Dark. To the addict that is still out there, you are not alone. Gives me chills. And the book is coming. You don't have to go public. Just making the change in your private life is enough to change all of humanity. Because you're touching countless lives, whether you know it or not. And for better or worse, I hope you make it for better. So yes, it's possible. Other people do it all the time, and so can you. Because while your behavior is confusing fear-inducing, exhausting, suffocating, and even traumatizing, there's nothing wrong with you. There's only confusion. There's confusion on your side and on the other side, and it needs clarifying. The confusion is different. They are opposite, and yet they feed into each other. Let me explain. You are unhappy, and you believe other people are the reason, the cause. They, in turn, have come to believe they are the cause of your unhappiness, but they are not. You alone are responsible for your own happiness, and I'm sorry that our society has led you to believe otherwise. Both sides have accepted the notion that others make us happy, and that's why we're stuck in this mess. For there to be true happiness, love, and peace, we must all realize this and take 100% responsibility for ourselves. A relationship doesn't mean there's 50-50 responsibility for each other's happiness. You are solely 100% responsible for your own happiness and nobody else's. Until you realize that, you won't be happy. Nobody can ever make you happy because they don't make you unhappy. You don't know it yet, but you're the one doing it. And so the effort to make others make you happy is futile. It will never work. And so your relationship will never truly be happy. Because we've all made the mistake of thinking that other people make us happy, obviously they're to blame if we're unhappy. That belief is a guaranteed path to trouble, and it has us all in trouble. If humanity wants peace and happiness, we must grow up and become fully responsible for our own mental and emotional state. We need you to be part of the solution now. We need everyone to look after themselves in a healthy way, because that's how we take care of others, by not making them responsible for us, so that we stand up on our own 2 feet. They have no control over us, so the effort is futile. They will fail. And if you think they are responsible for you, you will be angry when they fail. Isn't that what's going on? You, like everyone else, want respect, love, and peace. But bullying can't be respected. It causes fear, yes, but not respect. It causes fear, but not love. Bullying can't be love. You do have value. You are lovable. Your very existence and being is lovable. But bullying actions aren't, and they are deal breakers. Because nobody loves a bully except the bully themselves. They love themselves so much they will control others to get whatever they want or need, or at least what they're telling themselves they do. Or they hate themselves so much that they need others to fear and worship them in order to feel better, or at least they tell themselves they do. Both of these are the wrong self. It's not who or what you truly are. When you glimpse something of your true self, you wouldn't trade it for the world. Your real worth is so much more than what you've been led to believe. I love you, but I don't want to be around you when you're bullying, and that's my right. It's because I love you that I don't want to have that experience with you. It's not good for you, and it's not good for me, and it's not good for us. What is love anyway? Is it the desire to be around someone? Or is it that we care for their well-being and happiness? Perhaps people who bully think it means people want to be around them. So if you stick around them, they assume you love them. But here's the honest truth. People are around you because they're afraid of you, afraid of what might happen if they're not around you. And unfortunately, sometimes bullying does appear to work. It may force people to do what the bully wants, but it never earns true love, appreciation, or adoration. Often a bully misses that fact, thinking, well, if they're here, they must love me. Look at them, they're here, and they're even doing things for me, without realizing that fear is what keeps people there, not love. Love does not mean accepting bullying behavior. That's not loving oneself or the one bullying. It's disrespectful and damaging to both. Honor each other with kindness and peace, because that's what both desire in common. There's nothing keeping you from doing this. No matter what stories your mind says to you about what they did or why you have a right to be angry, those are just thoughts, and you don't have to be a slave to them. When you stop bullying others, you can start loving yourself, and you will. Then the whole world will not only love you, but also love being around you. Kindness is how we all get what we want, because kindness helps everybody, and everybody loves it, including you. I know this may not be easy at first, but once you see how well it works, you're going to love it, and it will become easier and easier. You can't change the past, and apologies for the past only matter if you've genuinely changed your attitude and your behavior now. That constant vigilance and mastery over your own inner self is what erases the past. And everybody has to do it. I've heard the complaint, you mean I always have to be watching what I say, what I do? Yes, but it'll work for you. Far better than mindlessly running the same old painful programs over and over. What I've heard from people struggling with bullying who genuinely want to change is that they have reasons not to give it up. They think it's a real and natural response, or they think it works in some way for them. I once worked with a woman who, as a little girl, hit her drunk and scary grandfather, who was terrifying her, on the head with a hairbrush because she didn't like his yelling. She knew it was wrong and ran away, trembling, hiding in a closet. He followed her, but when he found her and saw her in the corner of the dark closet, his heart cracked open. He spoke sweetly and picked her up gently. Her immature young mind, unable to understand such a sudden change in him, believed that what she did with her anger and her hairbrush caused that change. She believed force worked for her. That highly charged event firmly planted the belief that force equals safety, and worse, that force equals love. By the time I met her in her 50s, she was isolated without friends, alone, because abusive control had become her life's strategy. She used it in all her friendships, and so she had none. Reality is inescapable. You can either create stress and suffering for yourself and others, or heal yourself, which is the first step in healing your relationships. You see, bullying doesn't strengthen your relationships, and it's not you being strong. It's actually weakness to give into your own mental, emotional state and take it out on others. The world needs strong people. Your strength is needed, but your strength must be guided by wisdom, not driven blindly by emotion. Your strength is meant to shield others, not wound them. It's never too late to show up as the friend you wish you had. Let your power be the power to protect, not to dominate in fear. You know, there is actual danger, and there is the feeling of danger. I know you want people you care about not to just be safe, but to also feel safe with you. So you're needed, not as a threat, but as a protector of what's good, and that includes feeling safe. Happiness isn't found in control. It's found in connection. I know you're just like me. You want love, happiness, respect, and peace. That's our common ground. So let this desire be your guiding light, returning to it whenever you lose your way. Everyone can agree that this is what we want. So start there. You'll be navigating new waters, and so you'll need a coach, a mentor, a guide, and you'll make mistakes. But when we know better, we do better. And I look forward to you rising up in everyone's eyes and in everyone's lives, transforming humanity in the way we need in order to survive and thrive together. And we need each and every one of us for that. That is how important you are. Your story isn't over. It's time to write a new, gentler chapter. P.S. Peace isn't the absence of strength, it's the mastery of it.